Hello. Hello, hello. I hope you can hear me. I'm gonna try and figure out the audio this time, so I'm gonna count on your feedback. If anything's too loud or too quiet, let me know. I'll try and adjust that. I'll set it up for now so that the mic is pointed directly at my face. I was gonna start with playing. Let me finish this counter because that's pointless right now. Hide that. I was gonna start with the Hideout Island version. However, I was just talking to Turgon. Am I a bit low? Okay. Let me ruin that completely. I do have a boost on the mic, so let me try and do that. Oopty doopty. What if I did like that audio? Yeah, I still haven't fixed the microphone. You found out what's going on, okay. Hi Marek, hi Turgon. I am, maybe I was, the list of buildings is no missing forts any. Yes, that's what happened. So, when we fixed unlocking of forts, we broke counting forts. So we're gonna have to fix that. So I was gonna go ahead and start with Hideout, but I think we're gonna have to do first a quick stream of trying to fix that issue. So anyone who's not up for some Visual Studio code, you can evacuate now. You have about 2 minutes before I launch it. Made edge case bug into worst bug. No, it's not quite like that. It's not quite like that, but I can't. I've had a setting for the mic that is gone now. I don't know where. I have no idea where it went. So that's oh, okay, I found it. Let me try and pump it up. by like 5, 10 decibel. I don't know. Let's try 10 because if it's bad, then I can easily lower that on the interface. Okay. Could you please tell me how's the mic now? Is it loud enough? Can you hear me? Okay. I'm just gonna leave it on its own. It's many maps that do count faults. Yes, I am aware. Well, the OG bug was an edge case. Not many maps did the thing it was supposed to fix. It's loud. The mic has a buzz. Is that better? If it's terrible, then I can take 15 minutes and swap out the mics, but because it's something easy to fix. No. So we have to fix it in the code. It shouldn't be like that you would have to go and adjust everything in every campaign. That's not good. I think the best way to go is to do it. Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'm gonna turn down the background music even more. Okay. Yeah, so if anyone's not up for Visual Studio, then I'm afraid you're gonna have to evacuate. I'm gonna try and pull up the PR that made the problem worse, and we're gonna try and fix it. As the desktop cam, okay. So the PR is okay. So in the closed PRs, let me pull up GitHub as well. We're gonna have a look. Oh, we'll have a look. Of course, we'll have a look. I know that there's still a bit of a buzz. I'm gonna have to deal with that, I'm afraid, for tonight. GitHub, if coding was so basic, would shut. Yeah. Well, yeah. This is. I'm afraid that this is not the type of stream that you would usually tune into, but it's for the good cause. We're gonna try and fix that bug, right? Fix granaries network. No. Faults enabling. And try the capacity bug fix. Okay, so this is gonna be that one. No. Right, so this is another one. This is a connected one. So parameter data ignores it and generate building mappings. What we are gonna have to get down to is the actual event triggering. So we're gonna have to remap the event to the correct thingy. Let's have a look at the events. Oh wait, am I synced into the right? Into the master. Let's pull from upstream. Cool, and let's have a look at the event. Right, that's gonna be that one. Is it going to be scenario link, event link action? I think that's gonna be the one. Okay, let's have a look at the parameter data. If you're saying parameter data. Right, yeah, so this is going to be condition building type count active, I assume. Let's have a look at that. So the rest of those are just translation ones. So it only exists here, and it's because it's mapped to this condition type, building count, active. Oh, it's a comma. There we go. Condition handler. Sinai condition building type active mat. Where does it go? Can I go to that one, please? Right. Ooh. So did we have a condition here for building forts? This. I need to check this. File annotations, file history. Open file history. No, line history. This is 23 months ago. So that's not the one. The fort is not in properties C anymore. Line 599 parameter C data. If it doesn't show up, I meant. Let's have a look. Parameter data. Line 599. Generate allowed building mappings. Right. Right. So yeah, so we'll fix that later, because this is going to be connected to being able to set up those events in the future. First, we need to fix the current events not activating, which is going to be a condition type, I assume. So this is going to be... Let's go back to the condition types, because I don't know what is the actual mapping of that condition. No, we're gonna have to go here. Building no. Difficulty request, area city population, count on troops. Turgon, do you know, is the actual condition count of forts, or is it count of troops? Counts forts. Okay. So this is gonna be this one, building count any mat, right? Not the building count. It's gonna be either building count active or building count any. I think it's gonna be building count any. Building road, gardens, default. Right, so we can do. Oh, yeah. It's any. Which had both as options. Yeah, so this is going to be building count total and building state and use building state create. So what we can do is we can map it, because the previous mapping was building menu fort. So this is what the previous this is what we previously had, right? And this was as a fort, and all of those references have been removed. So I think as long as we count all of the forts for this one, just at the special condition, I think that would fix it. It wouldn't fix the current event selector, but it would fix the past events, I reckon. So let's have a look at that. So this just goes through for all of the buildings of a type. I think I had fort counting functions in that PR. Let me pull up the PR. So it's not this one. It's this. Yeah, this is the one that we did with Crudos. GT model is active. Yada yada, buildings clear, building count. There, I think this is that one. Count. Building count 207. Yeah, fort type in area. There are special functions for counting forts. Yes, this is, I remember adjusting that. That's what we got here, right? On the bottom. Yeah, here. Count forts per type and count active fort type. Oh, building count fort type total. 300. Let's have a look. I think this one. Building count active fort type. Returns the active building count for forts based on the assigned soldier figure type. Yeah. All fort types. I think that one. I think we can just use that one. It goes with the figure type though. Oh. Type total. Count forts per type. No, this is... it's just... these two are the same function. Oh, but they call different thing. Okay, they called it with a 0, I remember now. Count for type. This of all 4 types. I don't remember if this does all of the forts or if it does a specific type. Size T. What kind of... Alright, this is just an unsigned integer. Size of all 4 types. So this does an iteration of those. Count forts per type. Right, so these ones are generic. Right, so this is not per special fort type, and it needs to be noted. This function counts all active forts of all types, iterating through the all fort types array. There we go. Need to note that for both of those. So this one is active, this one is any forts of all types. Right, so this is the one that we should be using in that condition. All of the forts. Forts can't really be inactive actually, which is kind of weird. Did we have a mothball function for forts before? Because I was looking at it and I thought at some point, I think when we were playing the campaign yesterday, I actually wanted to mothball a fort because I didn't want it to start getting filled just yet, and there was no option to mothball it. So I'm actually surprised. Yeah, I didn't think so. They can be cut off but not inactive since they don't need a road or workers. Right. So I think ideally we need to plug the as a quick fix. Let's plug the function in the editor directly to all forts, and if a player makes an inactive fort, that's on them. That's how I would approach it. So building count fort type total, we don't actually need a type. For size I. All 4 types I. But what is this? Figure type. We do count by types, by the way, often saying specific unit type fort will count for events. Yeah, no, I'm aware. There are specific functions for that. So count forts per type is the function that counts specific type of fort. I am trying to figure out, because so what happened was when I was fixing that issue, we spoke with Crudelius, and basically there was a bit of a mess in the files. There was inconsistent usage. Sometimes building fort was used as a generic type, and sometimes it was meant the building adjacent to the fort grounds, right? So it was actually just about that part that can't be crossed. And there was just a lot of inconsistency. There were like 23 files affected, and in some of them it was treated like that, in some of them it was treated like that, and it was culminating in that issue with events not unlocking forts, because forts were actually just finally seen as an option in the menu. So the that PR was attempting to bring everything together and kind of have a unified method of looking at things. But a lot of the work that I done, because it was spanning over so many files, a lot of the times I just did literally a find and replace. On these functions, I spent a bit more time to make sure that they make sense. I rewrote them, but I don't remember why did I use this variable type here. That shouldn't be working like that. So the type in here, the figure type, this is going to be, yeah, there's going to be separate figures. There's going to be a figure for Javelin Mounted Legionary Standard. So what we're going to have to do is, when iterating through those, we need to actually adjust the type of a figure, and this we should get rid of that. We don't actually need to pass a variable to this function, because the goal of this function is to return a count of active forts. It doesn't need any other information. So this needs to be void. Active fort type also void. And the figure type, but wait, where is it called? Please. It's only two. It's only two. Okay, how about total? Ooh. Alright, yeah, there we go. So this is what we are trying to do. So, condition types for forts should work fine. For individual forts, what do we have? Mounted Javelin Legionnaire, but we have Legionnaire twice. Why? So this is active, and this one's not active. This one's any. Okay, so they should be different. Why is active never called? Why does it exist? Because I fucked it up. That's why. Oh, it wasn't me. Okay, good. It wasn't me. It was, thank you, whoever invited GitHub blame. Now we know that it wasn't me. It's a mistake. It should be used. So this function here says condition type building count active. So this one, building count for type total, should actually be active. Can you please did I misspell it? What's the thing? No, it's total. What's the other function then? Building count active for type. There we go. Is this the one? Yes, active. Legionary Javelin mounted. So there should be more. It only gives you 3 options. It doesn't let you count archers or swordsmen and other auxiliaries. Why did you and Oberwaffe do that? I didn't do nothing, okay? That's the point here. It was Oberwaffe. Oberwaffe. Apologies to all German speakers. My German is quite rusty. But yeah, so at next time, I guess I'm gonna try and add other methods of counting, but I would have to inspect that further. And I don't want to do that on stream. I don't want to be under that kind of pressure. So let me just fix that issue. So building. count active met. So this is where we're supposed to put that. Active 4 type. Active 4 type. Active 4 type. There. Cool. Must be added elsewhere, since when Uber added this, there weren't these new units yet. It wasn't a mistake of his. No, I'm saying that... no, I think you... I think you are mixing up two things. So these functions are the ones that are responsible for counting buildings, and I was just observing that there's no count for new units yet. So whoever added new units, they did not account for them, but the original of this function was written by Uberwaffe. So we were just saying that when Uberwaffe wrote those, he mistakenly put counting all forts in both cases, in both the function that counts active ones and inactive. He just called total count in both cases. So I'm just trying to fix that now. We could count archers and swordsmen. Yes, next time. Let's focus on one crisis at a time. In the list, they are on the bottom, if that matters. Oh, so they're probably yes. Oh, maybe Mike's right then, and they are added elsewhere as a completely separate type. But I'm not gonna get too bogged down. I just want to test fixing this one particular issue. Okay, so as I was saying, these functions need to become void instead of figure type with the main argument. And right, I need to fix that to be void as well. Type. So these are not that. These are all. Oh, but when we do... Okay. So that won't work, because these functions call this for checking legionaries, javelins, and mounted. Okay, let me... let me cancel all of that and go back. Don't save. Don't save. Let's go back to blank slate. I think I know what I need to do then. Let's open count again. And what we're going to do... Okay, so they need to be able to be called by figure type. But you also need to be able to call it for all of the types. So if you call it for... We're gonna have to find something. No, let's just do another function. That's all. Oh, building counts forts. There we go. Easy. So do this. Why are we gonna change the function? No, we're gonna add a new function. That's how we're gonna do it. We do it the proper way. So the only thing that this needs is adjust the figure type here. So for the all figure types, it goes one by one, and we just need the return of the correct figure type for those. And I think I did it somewhere. I think I've put it somewhere. Is it save? No, this is just the guide. Yeah, that's just the guide that I wrote. IO, file IO, file IO. That's a long one. Type. Wait, fort. No? I'm pretty sure I've put it somewhere. I couldn't have been that careless. Maintenance. Can I just search this for... Oh, so I have one, but it works the other way around. It's in the building state, and it returns the building from the figure, and we want it the other way around. We want the type from the figure type from the building type. So I think we're gonna have to write that. Let me search by the name of the figure. We were just looking at condition types. Can someone please make a mental note that I need to change those active versus total counts before I submit this? Figure Fort Legionary. Okay. If I simply search for that, if there's a function that does it, it should be listed here. Yeah, so this one returns figure. This one returns building from figure. This one says it is Legion. Figure into recruit. It's formation. Anything for building. If it doesn't exist, I'll just write it, but I don't want to duplicate logic. No. It doesn't look like there is one. Where would be the right place to put it then? It should be a global one in case we need to use it in the future. So where are these declared? They are declared in type. That's not good. This type doesn't have a C file, it only has header files. Building, I suppose the best one is going to be building then. And is there anything for forts here? Yes, there's building is fort. Does this import type? Does this import type? It doesn't. Let me check what includes type H. Type H figure. So it's figure dash type H. So let me search for hashtag include figure forward dash type dot H. Clone count. I guess we're gonna have to put it in count then. It's not ideal, but it's a bit strange actually. But you know, what can we do? Figure H. Okay. Well. So we're near, and well, we're just gonna have to put a. Okay, I did say earlier that I'm not gonna make it a static. Why don't you include it in the other file? You could include it in the building, but there are no other functions in the building.c that would benefit from that. There is no. So it just means it. To me, my logic here is that this, if no other function is using it here, then it means that this is not the right place for it. There's no other function here that would be doing this kind of comparison. But we are doing it in count C already, so I guess this is as good a place for it as any, you know. Ideally, we would have a type.c, but, you know, I'm not adding new files today. I'm just going to try and then fix it. So, I think well, I wish Crudelius was here. Someone call Crudelius. If I had one call to Crudelius, I'd call him right now and ask him, is it better to make it a static helper function now? Because it doesn't seem like it's used anywhere else. But because it is a very important function that is probably going to be used in the future, should we make it a global one? It's not that big of a deal, actually. Let's just do it. building count, faults get building type from figure. That's a long one. And that is just gonna have to be a case switch, I think. Switch on type. Yeah. Well, God bless Copilot. This is easy. Is it all the faults? No, it's not, and this is incorrect. We'll fix it in a moment. Figure fault. Archer and infantry. Archer, not archers, and infantry. There we go. Are those correct? Yep. Copilot just always makes mistakes. Yeah, that is my biggest gripe with generative AI. It just makes shit up all the time. All the time. And I know that it's not as terrible with people who, are doing like creative writing or something, and they're using generative AI to, I don't know, help them come up with ideas or, not troubleshoot, but like spitball some scenarios or just give you general feedback. But in programming where precision matters, it's so weird that with how popular generative AI is, there's still no good AI for that. It keeps making mistakes, making shit up. I don't know. Lately, I told me that there are only 2x2 gardens in C3. Yeah, it just loves making up stuff all the time. But I gotta I gotta give it to it. When it comes to volume, and if you know exactly what you're doing, it's pretty good. By the way, Seth, I assume you haven't read the military notes I gave you yet. No, sorry, I haven't had time. Also, there was a new proposal on dev server you might have some input on. I have been a bit off the Discord stuff today and yesterday, which is why I'm actually decided to stream today. I had a long day at work, and I just had a bit of a free evening, and I thought, you know what? I just sat down to play some campaigns. I thought I didn't really want to get into programming today, so guess what I'm doing? Programming. Just wanted to play some Augustus, man. Stuck doing that again. I'll give it a read, but I need to slow my pace down a little bit. No, thank you. Yeah, no worries. I just wanted to mention it. Absolutely. No, thank you for doing that. I'll get to it. I think I'm just going to have to slow down my crazy pace a little bit. I think I have been overdoing it a bit with how much time I have been spending on some of the submissions, and I'm just going to try and balance it out a bit more. Maybe it will come with a bit more care and attention to detail. Maybe not. Maybe in 2 days I'll change my mind and go on a bender again. The funny thing is you can't play with this bug running. Like, yeah, that's why I am here fixing this shit. At least not Hideout. Yeah, exactly. So let's try and fix it first. Right, so Legionary, Javelin, Mounted, Infantry, Archer. That's all the 4 types that we got. And default is building none. Yeah, I mean, the way we're gonna use it, this is the correct way to go about it. By the way, Turgon, the thumbnail you gave me cuts off a little. If you have time, please try to make it wider by a bit so it fits. Yeah, Turgon, do that. Let's call it F-type. So this should work. So all 4 types. So that gets this, yeah. Count faults. If I'm not mistaken, this should work. But it now begs the question, what is the point of these? I'll leave them as they are right now. I'll note that they might be deprecated. So these two are the affected ones. When I have a bit more time, I'll try to look into it properly. But this is gonna be the quick fix type of thing. I am gonna have to declare it in the count age. This one. Where are the fort ones? Yeah, here. There. Let's go back. So now when we go into the actual count of the buildings, when we have the building menu fort, we have to call the other function. That's how I would fix it. In the area, set yada yada. I did see that function earlier. Count active. Is it that one? Building count total. Okay. Only active. I'm gonna follow the same. There. Active only. I'm gonna follow the same pattern as I did earlier. So take your time to fix that, and in meanwhile just have fun with some other maps, lol. Thank you. No, I am doing it. I'm complaining a bit just for the theatrics. I do want to fix that. I do feel guilty that the fix affected this negatively. So, and you know, it's important that we get that done because the maps are not playable. And it does seem like an easy fix. So what I'm gonna do is I'll try it out. We'll see if it works, and if it works, then I'll push a fix to the unstable. But at the moment, I'm gonna just test it locally to see what's happening. So count forts active only. So this should be the active only. There. And now, if we go back to where I wanted to add it, it's here. So, if it's not building any, if building menu fort that, because this is the one that is going to be accidentally triggering. Type and building count fort 0 means do not check active only. Yeah. Okay, this is correct. And here. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up breakpoints here, and we're gonna try and see if this works. So added these, yeah. The helper and the generic function. Some silly margins. Cool. We do need to fix this if possible. It's a big deal. I absolutely agree. Cool. Let me set up a new branch. Fix fort count for events. Bring my changes. Commit this fort fix draft 1. Cool. I think that's all. I think we just run the debug now and see if it counts forts properly. Look, there's exactly the same wording here. Jose Cadete, fix hippodromes not counting properly. We need to make things count properly. Great. What's the issue? Building count faults undefined. Ah, right. I hate that. This is a quirk of C that is very strange for me. So because the function is added at line 400, if I try to call it earlier in the file at line 107, it throws a fit. Doesn't see it. It says that it doesn't exist. So what we have to do is we have to add it earlier as a sub declaration. I don't know how to call it, but we need to tell them there's a function ahead that is called this, and we are going to call it later. So be ready. That's basically. When you do that via the command line, it feels so much cooler. In earlier versions of C, that wasn't the case. Bro, how do you know that? You're supposed to be like 7 years old or something. Earlier versions of C. Dude, there's programming languages from the 70s. It's 50 years old. I'm 13, man. Sorry, I was just joking. Let me disable audio for a moment while we are chatting. Via the command line. I mean, so in my defense, I have a terminal here. A terminal runs here, and I did used to do it through the command line. I do have some scripts set up for this exact purpose, and you can do it. I have scripts, for example, for tester builds, because I kept having an issue where my builds wouldn't work for like Marek when I was asking him to test some stuff. So I do have BBB help us there. Yep. So I do have build tester, build mini, build full, build debug, asset pack. I have all of that stuff set up, and I can call it. But it's just quicker to do it through VS Code, and it's a debugger version. I have the breakpoints set up now. Credelius taught me well, I hope. I mean, I hope he doesn't regret it, at least. Let me bring back OBS. Remember, whatever you do, there is someone out there who can do it better and faster. Yes, and is younger. 13 years already, chiseled lobes. This is like, I think Mark is the only person in the world that considers programmers to be below. Is usually people consider programmers to be the magic people, the people who say things that are beyond average mortal. And Mark's like, nah, they're slaves. The mapping is where the heat is at. I learned C from Pew C Handbook of my father. Dude learned C from a book. My guy, you are extraordinary. Let me tell you that. Everything you tell me about yourself just makes it even more impressive. Okay, let's do it here. Workshops unlock anyway. Since we're just testing, it's fine to do this. We're just testing, okay? It's fine. No, there is one. Okay. What's the issue then? Barracks. Cool. Mike considers map makers the elite of the universe. That's true. I really don't think of the coders like this. Is more of a banter. No, I know. I just find it surprising what angles you aim at with your banter. It's okay, mate. We're all friends here. I have learned this. I am now. I'm cool. I'm chill. There we go. Okay, so it's counting now. Great. I think this should work now. Let me disable those now. Those breakpoints. The mere fact that there we go. So yeah, so the workshops thingy is bugged, but that's okay. Wait. Take the other save and see if the counter of the variable is going in. Good point. Let's do this, not this one. Sorry, the fourth one is the latest one, right? Yeah. So I've got plenty of thoughts here. So let's run it and let's see if the event triggers or not. So the gift for our allies keeps triggering, which is strange. But that's okay. How many oxen are here? Yeah, this time. Okay, let me try and see it through some other lenses. There's a counter. What do you mean by there's a counter? Can you elaborate on that? In the event list, you check the counting of variables. So I would have to open the event list then. You don't have an ego problem. That's normal. Is you value yourself higher than people? You're just telling it others a bit harsh. Yeah, it's banter. It's alright. We're good. Sorry, Turgon. I still don't. I'm still not quite sure what you mean. I don't know where I could check that. But I'm keen to try it. I just don't know where. Let me building total. I think to trigger it, I have debug custom events. Is it through the Rubicon? I have never done that before, sorry. Yeah, there we go, okay. Cool. Which one is it? Custom variables, gift, invasion, Caesar. No. Let's have a look one by one. Trade routes. Favor. Custom variable on top. That's this one. Gift. The variable Caesar should change. This one. Okay. Oh, so this actually has entered the thing. How do I exit that now? It's not changing. It might be. Yeah, that's good information. I haven't said anything like that. What I meant is that I know some people personally who do programming. I do know some people who do program. I do have black friends, guys. I do know people who do programming. It feels like they all look at anyone else differently. Maybe it's just my experience, but it comes off that way. I definitely look at everyone differently. I look at everyone as a friend. Everyone's my friend. Can I get the mouse back? Check event ID 36. Yeah, this thing has frozen. I think I hit a breakpoint. Yeah. I did hit a breakpoint. Which is good. So Caesar hasn't changed. But this is a very strange... You know what, exit builder. Let's load this back up. Whatever you do, I'm sure there's something you can do which I can't. So the programming, that's not inherently something to be superior. Nothing's superior. Let's drop that topic. I don't like that. It's unnecessary. Everyone's friends here. That's real good, you know. I know that you do. Subject comes up. Yeah. I look at everyone as an enemy unless he proves to be harmless. That's a very aggressive stance for a 13-year-old, I gotta say. So I'm at capacity with forts. Let me remove one. Let me see, because it might just be a quirk of counting. Yeah. Now it will work. Let me pull up. Yeah, now it's working. So, yeah, whatever. Custom variable Caesar. No, still hasn't. What's the condition? Did you say 56? Check event 36 again. Sorry. Count building type greater than or equal to. Change custom variable. Add 1. City population greater than. Count of building type. Building type for counting. There we go. So we do have to add it back. What Johannes was talking about for parameter data. You were right. You were right all along. You were by my side all along. You can check it if you selected that. Yes, I can see that. I now understand everything. Thanks, Turgon. Didn't want to talk about this. Just one of the messages came off with, yeah, no worries, mate. No, it's all Gucci. We know. We all know. Everyone's having fun. I mean, I know you're not having fun because it's a coding stream right now, but you know, hopefully you will change. Hopefully we'll fix it soon, and we'll get back to the campaign. Alrighty then. So, where are the parameters for counting? I was reading one eye too much. That's between you guys. I'm not getting into that. And building, counting, generate building type mappings. Yes. For building none to building type max, building properties for type. Aha. Okay. 554. You are correct. So it is a double, trouble. These properties that we removed, one of those was necessary, I believe, but it was working for unclear, for an unclear mapping. So let's go back to that. So building properties for type, and you fetch it a building type. And you go to the properties. These are the properties. And we do need building menu forts. Yeah. Okay. Now we're cooking. So it is a double trouble. Let's go back here, and where was the removal of duplicate forts? That one. That one. This will fix the problem for Turgon. Little did he know. Little did he know. This actually caused all of the problems for Turgon. If building forts and properties won't show up, you are absolutely correct, Johan. You figured it out before we did. I congratulate you. Well done. So, we have to return a building menu forts. Here. But it's gonna have to be in the same way that the other menus are declared. So we're gonna have to go back to this one as well. Where is this? Is it in properties? Properties, this. So I removed this. I removed building fort, and this needs to come back. However, it does need to come back in the correct shape. So it does need to come back as a generic one. Let's come here. Is this... holy crap. Holy crap, Loris. I knew that because the action change model for data PR, I needed to make a similar function like generate building type mappings. It's funny how you learn stuff by doing similar bits. I started working on this project in May, and I was getting scared just looking at options. And my first attempt with a lot of ChatGPT at adding one single thing to settings, what I have accidentally done is I have added like a vanilla type thing, completely bypassing config. And Kerry have had one look at it, and he said, it's great, thank you for contributing. This is very wrong. Put it into config. And I had to go and figure out what the hell did I even do wrong. So it's funny how you just literally learn stuff by doing things. So this is why, for example, and let this be a lesson to people who are not programming this project. This is why I am, for example, refusing to do work on the editor, because I just haven't done any PRs on it. I haven't done much code on it. So it would, for me to contribute to the map editor, I would have to learn a lot of stuff. I would have to sit down and go through this, read the functions, try to understand it, paste it into an LLM, and ask it to give me a comprehensive overview, then go into the functions, then them one by one. I'm more comfortable, for example, working with the Empire because I've already spent a lot of time doing that, and I know where the functions are. Johan says that his first so is it can I call you Johan, or is it Johannes? Is it tell me if it's better Johannes or Johan, because I'm afraid I'm gonna break my tongue if I try to say Johannes Calidus every time. And my first comment was the options button, and I was so proud of myself. That was amazing. That was amazing. You can call me Johan. Okay, great. I'm very grateful. Nice to meet you, Johan. I'm Seth. I'm not Seth. Marek keeps calling me Seth. I'm Sephirex or Sephi. I go by Sephi, but I don't go by Seth. It reminds me. I don't have anything against him, but it reminds me of Seth as in SETH or SSETH, and that is just not my name. That is not my nickname. So I go by Sephi mostly. So nice to meet you, Johannes. Seth, yes, the code person. He's not Sephi. Yeah, Sephi's nice because it originally came from Zephyr. And Sapphire, so it's just like Sephi, yeah. So Sapphire is pretty much always taken, so I like butchered it a bit, and there was an item in League of Legends called Zephyr, an old item, which I quite enjoyed, and it was I thought it was fun, and I liked the name Zephyr. You know, a light wind that. A gust of wind that changes things. That's how I wanted to think of myself. Okay, I'm getting off track. So sorry, Johan was saying that his first comment was the options button. It was amazing. I can't believe we haven't had it for so long. It's been missing from that menu for decades. Amazing job. I was so proud of myself getting it done in 1.5 hours. That's really quick, and without AI, well done, mate. I think that AI is very good as a learning tool, because if you know exactly the logic, if you know the algorithm that you are trying to follow, you don't have to know all of the syntax, you don't have to know all of the commands, and you don't have to know the data types in the language, and you can describe to an AI the algorithm that you want to follow, and it will fill out the syntax for you. So I think it's very good for switching between languages. I was more proficient, I was pretty happy with my proficiency in Python when I started working this project, and what I was basically doing is I was writing like Python pseudocode, and I was feeding it to ChatGPT to rewrite it into C, and it was a lot of trial and error. My name is actually Johannes, but at school everyone calls me Johan. If you prefer Johannes, I can call you Johannes. I will do that. I'll just, I was trying to figure out what's best for everyone. If Marek prefers me to call him Commissar Marek with every time and address him by his full title, that's okay by me. We treat everyone with respect here on this Christian stream. Not Christian, but, we're trying to be friendly. What was I on about? What was I even doing? Right. So I was trying to figure out if the order matters in this large array. I don't think the order matters because we did remove a bunch of stuff. So I'm just gonna find where forts are. There's a ground here, so let's put it here. So building fort, but it's not building fort, it's building menu fort that is missing. So let's put it here, here, this, and we have to figure out what to do so that it comes up as forts, as all the other ones. Marek is fine. Christian Virgin Stream, yes. Christian Virgin Stream. The order doesn't matter. Yeah, thank you. I don't know it by heart. I was just guessing. I came to it from the fact that we deleted a bunch of stuff from this array, and it worked. So what we need to do here is I think we just need to do forts, all forts in the attribute, and in the key we're gonna go with the TR that we did for forts earlier. So let me do it like this. Event data attributes fort all forts like this. Was it like that before? Yes, the attribute was fort. So the attribute was fort. So I think we have to keep it as fort. Oh no, but this is all, right? This is C bit operation for all, if I recall. So this is either fort or all forts, and the data key is gonna be tr parameter value building menu fonts. No, we can just go. But that would be the correct way to go about. I'll read the chat in a second. So the correct way would be to do this. This. Hop. Building parameter value building menu forts. And a value to assign to it in English C. All the way down. Forts. And call it all forts probably. Let me look up the other parameter. Maybe a bit chaotic, but it works, okay? Don't hate the player. Yes, it's all farms, so it's gonna have to be all forts. That's it. Okay, sorry, catching up. Yeah, the order is the same as it shows up, and I know it's just very random. Know this, editing translation here, we create conflicts. Why would it create conflicts, editing translation H? This is a standard process. We always add things to the translation. I mean, yes, it will create merge conflicts for other PRs, but they should be able to just grab it from here. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. But we should do it properly. Everyone will just have to update this one thing. Like, we should do this properly. If we don't do it, not doing it properly is what got us in this mess in the first place. So, I know that this will create some issues, but if someone has a problem with their PR, give me a shout. Like, I will genuinely be happy to help everyone resolve the merge conflicts from translation, because resolving merge conflicts with translation is very easy. So I'd be happy to do it myself if anyone, if anyone's confused by that. And I know what you mean, Johannes, and I agree to an extent, but because this is such a big project with so many contributions over spanning years, we have to try and keep the consistency as high as we can. We have to try and make everything work in the same framework, because we will get into issues of misunderstandings and bugs because of it. You know, as I was saying at some point in Zach's chat, I don't do that always, but I try to keep the consistency, keep the good framework, keep the correct keep the correct, what's it called, best blanking. I'm trying to use the best methods. I'm trying to use the best work. I don't know. Okay, I'm blanking. Sorry. I felt at it once. I find the translation system amazing. It's really good. I think it's really good. I don't know if you mean amazing as in it surprises you tremendously and you can't wrap your head around it, or amazing as in truly a wonder. But I think it's really well thought out, and it creates an extremely easy, streamlined workflow for translations. Really good. Yeah, really tremendous work. Building menu, thoughts. And I think that's it. I think that's sorted. So let me save that. Let me save the count. Stop the clock. Start the debug again. Remove this. Run a billion things. Yeah, the most annoying thing about editing Translation H is that it reruns all of this stuff. Especially with the vanilla texts. So the vanilla text is strange for me because we grab it directly from the files, and I try to add an overhaul for it. We do have an overhaul for it, but it's gonna be manual mapping anyway. Well, we have a framework to work in. We can't ditch the original assets, and we can't duplicate them, so we have to work around them. I think it's very clever, but also it's annoying. It just is working with those original assets. So I think we got the best of both worlds when it comes to vanilla assets. I think that the translation system for Augustus is amazing. I think the translation system that we come up with for the vanilla assets is the best that we could come up with. That's how I'd put it. Late night stream again, I see. Hi, Furby. Yes, yeah. I have a free evening, so I thought maybe we'll play some Hideout. Turns out we have to first fix the bugs before we get to Hideout. Johan says I didn't figure out which text group is which text. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, let me put it this way. Because of the amount of vanilla strings that are pulled, it's unfeasible to comment every instance of pulling them, but I think those comments would help a lot, because in a lot of instances there's 3 lines of code, say, and one line is get lang text 73, like, is it get text lang? Get lang. I think it's get lang text. Just lang text? Lang text get, right. Or draw. Lang text draw. Yeah. So, say here. Yeah, you're gonna have lines like this where it says, okay, 45, 2. So this is group 45, string 2. Then it's group 68, text 148. And then it's another one. 44, 40. I don't know what these are. So what you have to do is you have to sit with a notepad open, and you have to go, and you have to go places, documents. I have it. I swear I have it. C3, there we go. So you have to sit with a text editor open and go, okay, group this. Okay, click here to dispatch request. Ideally, we would have a comment here that says, click here to dispatch request. But as I said, that's unfeasible to have it for every single line of code, because there are thousands. There are thousands, if not tens of thousands of instances of that. So, unfeasible. But yeah, it's, as I said, I think it's the best that we could come up with here. I think we could add more comments to make it clearer, but that's about as far as we can go without breaching any copyrights. Hey Marek, how did the RC updating go? In the option button comment, I just typed into random numbers and it just worked. Are we having an electronic background noise today? Yes, I'm sorry. I still haven't fixed the mic. I didn't have time. Is it very noticeable? Because I can take 5 minutes and swap them out. Because I have to build N converter, which requires fiddling around with Qt. No, it's fine. Good, I'm glad. You don't have to build N converter. You can just download it. Unless you really need to build it yourself. For, you know, your own satisfaction. But then, hey man, that's on you then, you know. Okay, let's see. This debug. What was the command? You're on Mac, so no. Ooh. Mac peasant. Unlucky. I forgot what was the debug command. Can you remind me, please? As I'm looking. Oh, debug custom events. Custom events. Custom variables. So Caesar's here. Condition 37. No. Condition 36. All greater than. No comparison. Yeah, all thoughts. There we go. So now this should work. So, as far as I understand, the so normally how this would work is when you build a thing, then you trigger the recount. It doesn't just trigger on its own. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna demolish a fort, I'm gonna get a fort, I'm gonna slap a fort back, and this should trigger the recount. So let me put the well back. Custom events, custom variables, season now. 36. So what is happening here? This seems like it's going not the way I intended. Comfort. I won't be able to watch for long, but on my phone the sound is quite noticeable, like half the volume of your voice. Oh. If I could just jump in and improve things as I see them. Debug custom events, show editor. It's a really good sign, then let's hope these updates will make it easy. Wait a month. Okay, let's do that. Let's wait a month. So the gift for our allies. Okay, 2 months passed. Oh, but I do need to do this. Right. This. Speed it up. May. June. Okay, let's see. 36. Why? Adds 1. It's not increasing. The button return to city can take you back from the editor. Return to city. Where is the button return to city? In data. Okay. Oh, thank you. Amazing. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have a... I need a moment, and I'm gonna try and swap out the mics real quick, okay? So I'm gonna slap the stream soon back on, and it's just gonna take me 3 minutes, because I just can't stand the fact that that there's the buzzing's noticeable, okay? I'll be right back, I promise. Hello. I think that was too loud. Hold on. I won't. This is not happening. No buzzing anymore. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I did go back to the previous mic. So I'm back to the digital mic. I did lose a pop filter, and I don't have time to look for it right now. So I'm afraid you're gonna have. I hopefully the popping isn't too bad. Feels like heaven. It's weird, no? Like I've paid proper money. I paid proper British money with a queen on it for that, you know, special XLR mic, and it turned out to be trash. Way worse than a digital mic for 20 quid. So hopefully this is good. Let me hide the sun thingy. Proper tender. Yes, proper tender. Proper tender. Just like in the where does it say? Does it say that on the notes, or does it say so in the constitution? I don't remember. Why was there no emperor on the money? What emperor? We didn't have an emperor in Britain. Okay, so the question is the counter fucked, or is it the save that is fucked? Let's have a look at that. Gift for the allies. Oh, right, change the scene. So what are we looking at? Remove this, and we are looking for fort. And we're looking for the fort. Count forts per type. No. We're looking at this, right? So, in the event of events, put another well down. This. Condition 36 is count of all buildings. Count building type. Count of building type greater or equal all forts. 57 all forts. That's an important lesson here. 57 all forts. Because the god emperor is dead and we killed him by not implementing the nature rework yet. That's 73 weeks of delay right now. I don't know if you know, but I'm counting. The natives were upsetting him. 73 weeks. So that's more than a year. Building is active and building is main. No. Okay. Building count active, building count total. This is the one that should be triggering. So what I usually work with two screens for this exact reason, but we can't have two screens, right? So we're gonna have to do the desktop, and we're gonna have to just run the clock. Return to city. Speed this up. So it does trigger. Where does it take us? Okay. Let's go. Total. Yada. So the total is 0. After this, it's still 0. What was the fort type? Remove all the watches. Add this to watch. Legionnaires. Oh, that's the issue. So this is count by type. But we are calling it by type. Building type active only. That's strange. 73 is a prime. Is it? Possible. Oh, that's not my type of autism. To remember the primes. I have the a lot of interest and not good at any type of autism. Okay, so what is the total? Does it just return total of 0? Yeah, so the total doesn't work. It does count them, but it counts them incorrectly. So let's have a look again. Let's run through this function again. There we go. Is it the 0 that's upsetting it? So active only is 0. Total is 0. Size, right, size I is 0. Figure type. Oh, this is not working. This is not working. Oh, it's the other way around. That's all there is to it. So it returns building from figure. It's supposed to return figure from building. Well, that's gonna be quicker than doing it by hand. Your parents are both mathematicians. Mate, you are set up. Coding at 13. Parents mathematicians. Knows primes by heart. How many primes do you know? Like, what's the upper limit of primes that you can recall off the top of your head? Like, do you know primes up to 1,000? Not a lot, like up to 100. Okay, no, that's still... No, don't get me wrong. I am clowning a bit because you're just, like, very impressive. So, you know, what you're saying is threatening to me as a 30-year-old. I can't accept mentally that 13-year-olds are already catching up, you know? I have 17 years of advantage on you. I can't have it this way, you know? Yeah, so no one caught it. Me being a moron and doing... Get building type from figure. Why would I want building type from figure? Whatever. Okay. I think I was just too I think I was just too caught up on the whole there. I was too caught up in the whole streaming debugging and trying to remain intelligent while also being stressed about people watching my hands while I try and fix things. Actually, there can be no limit since there are specific rules to know if a number is prime or not. No. I meant how many primes do you know by heart? I know that, well, any... most sets of numbers in maths are infinite, right? If you're thinking about big subsets. So yeah, I know that there's infinite number of primes. I recently watched a very cool video about oh my days, it was about a mathematical theorem that was proposed in the 1700s by I think Euler was one of the people who were proponents of it. But it's the oldest theorem that everyone assumes is true, but no one can prove. It was a video from Veritasium, very cool one. I barely remember anything from it, but very cool watch, very interesting. If you have the if you're interested in mathematics, I really recommend that video. I'll link it in a chat in a moment. You are ahead of me in terms of knowledge. Thank you. I can't... That's okay. Okay. I will be able to sleep tonight. There is someone who thinks that I am ahead in knowledge. That's okay. That's great. We're doing okay. Did I set up the breakpoint? I didn't. Or did I? I did. For the total count. Okay. Let's run the clock. Okay, it triggers. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so I let it run now. Take the count. Unlock this breakpoint. Yeah, cool, fun. Yeah. Debug editor, is it? No. Debug custom events. There. We'll watch it. Oh, but the video. Yeah. Cool. I link it in the chat. Oh, so it's called the obviously true theorem that no one can prove. It's 40 minutes long from Veritasium, released about a month ago. Really interesting, but as I said, I was watching it at night, like as a side screen thing when I was actually fixing some bugs in Augustus. So I don't remember a lot of it, but it was fascinating. So I really recommend it. I've put it in the chat now. Really cool. If you're interested in maths, then I recommend it. It's about, as far as I remember, it's about representing. No, I won't make a clown of myself. I'm not gonna say what it's about exactly, the theorem, because I didn't understand it well enough to convey it. Something to do with 3 numbers. Okay, scenario events, custom variables. There we go. Fixed. It's working. It's working now, guys. Yeah. We got him. Okay. So how many changes is it? 5 files, properties, 2 translations. Oh my. Oh no. Nah. Oh no. Okay. Let's do it like this. Let's copy that. Discard these properties. Yeah. Discard. Go back here. Go to the properties. A parameter? No, properties. It was properties, right? Properties building, right? We go down to the defaults, foreground. We're gonna do this, and we are going to do save without formatting. There. Show me the money. There we go. Yeah, white space changes. So what I have in my VS Code is there another recommendation from Crudelius. I'm not gonna pretend like I figured it out myself. I have blah, 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 blah. Where are my extensions? Extensions. Editor config. There we go. Editor config. So this is the one. This is the thing that whenever you save, it formats all of that stuff for you. So this is what is causing those massive changes sometimes with loads of white spaces. And to avoid that, I have to go through save without formatting. But okay, so it works. Let me submit that. So this is forts fix proper. Let's publish the branch. Let's do a pull request. Fix fault count for events. Do I have to do anything else for that? I think I should note there are. Oh no, the replacement. Did anyone remember? No, no one remembered. I remembered. Okay. The total counter and active counter. Luckily, if you just write code in VI, it doesn't do that. It actually does nothing. Huh. It's good to know. Fault. Active fault type. This is the thing that I was also supposed to fix, right? You did make... Okay, good, good. Well done, lad. Top lad. Okay. So this... Count active. Yeah. That's a very insignificant change, I have to say. Count active. So I don't know why there's this issue. Why is it highlighting this? But I have no reason to check that. But not my circus, not my monkeys, right? So now we use active and total correctly. Let's run the debug. See if it builds. It builds, cool. Change the total counts to active counts where appropriate. Appropriate. Difficult to spell. Push to origin. Don't need anything more, I think. I had a message in a copy paste, but it was deleted by researching how mathematician is written in English. That's a very fair check. I have to check spelling a lot myself. I am terrible with spelling. I'm just dropping stuff. I'm notoriously bad in spelling. I don't really care for it too much. In English, especially, I don't know. I think it's just because everyone, in English, everyone types however they want. There's so many, it's so accessible. Polish is very uptight about it. My parents are quite uptight about it as well. So in Polish, I am rather careful, and I do pay attention to orthography, spelling correctly, and I do know how to spell. But in English, it's just, you know, we go with the flow. I love that about English. It is my favorite language for speaking and writing because of how easy it is. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just this pull request, so I'm gonna see if it builds okay. I don't think that there's anything more to add here, so I reckon we can finally go and play some Augustus, play some maps. Looking forward to it. Oh, hello music. I missed you. Your favorite language is Latin. Interesting. Why is it your favorite? Tell me. Is it just because of how fascinating it is as an ancient language, or does it actually have linguistic features that interest you? You would just so if you wouldn't get a 1 in your English class tests. 1 is the best note in Germany, isn't it? If I would do so, alright, yeah. It's because consistent in terms of grammar. That's interesting. I have no idea whatsoever about Latin. I know like 3 proverbs and that's it. Oh, it was you who argued with me on Dura lex sed lex. I was you! Ha! Yes, 1 is the best. That's very... I remember that really tripping me up when learning German. It's you. I got you, mate. I got you. I know like genuinely like 3-4 Latin proverbs, and that's it. But it comes off so cool when you throw them casually in a conversation and you go, well, yeah, tough law, but it's law. What can you do? Well, it is a plus that my wife's a lawyer, so you know. She's my source of knowledge about law in general. I do not go near... Well, I do go near the topic because of her. She's amazing. I love her. Okay, let's do the campaign. Hideout, begin. So, I did beat the Alpine one by cheating. So let's try and do the coastal one. So we did get a head start yesterday. Okay, how is the sound now? Because I have changed the music. Let's do this. Looking just by looking on the audio mixer on OBS, this should be about right. Let me know if this doesn't sound right, if it's too quiet or too loud. I'll adjust it. I was looking at the VOD from yesterday and the sound was horrid. I hated it. Not only like the buzzing, I didn't notice the buzzing personally, but I did notice a significant difference in the levels of the music in my voice. So I was quite upset about that. I wasn't happy with the quality of entertainment that I provided. So you know, but what do I always say? We live, we laugh, we learn, innit? Okay, so last time, what worked for me as a setup was starting off from here, and I think that's what I'm gonna go for again. I am gonna pay attention again to the 30 wolves, and I'm gonna try and hit that relatively quickly. Turgon did. We live, we laugh, we implement the native rework. 74 weeks. And counting. But now that the count is fixed, you know, the counting might work properly now. How long is this? 25. That's no bueno. 22. This is what we are aiming for. I can't remember how we did it last time. So we're gonna eyeball it. Hi, Klongo. Welcome. We have just fixed... hell yeah, Caesar free. So we have just fixed the bug with forts. So hopefully the wonderful Hideout campaign from Turgon will be as challenging as he intended for it to be. 24, that's too much. Like this, right? This is the cutoff here. This is gonna be the 22 by 22. It's a prime anymore. Why did you do that? Yeah. You ruined a perfectly good prime. Is this 6? Yeah, so it gets too wide here. Yeah, just adjust a sec. I'm back. Sorry, brief interruption. So this is going to be 6 by 6. This is 5. I think I said earlier that it's fine for it to be not perfectly laid out here. Okay, so last time the first issue was that there was a problem with the bridges. This is where we have to go, right? Yeah, this is where we went last time. This is what we're gonna go through with this time as well. This and this and this is now accessible. What I did last time is I've set up the few basic wharves here with a granary, but I'm not gonna go for that just yet. And the declaration in C is to prevent errors. If you call the function too early, it's called prototype declaration. Yeah. So it makes sense from the logical standpoint. Like, you have to declare the function before you call it. But the file in... It trips me up because in C, the file... It means that the file is read from top to bottom. But you compile it first. So it's just weird. Why is it that the runtime language like Python allows you to dynamically look up functions in a file regardless of replacement, but something that actually does compile beforehand is tripped up by an order? That's, you know, it's just weird for me. In Python, it's not like that. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Python is a runtime compile language, right? So you don't build it beforehand. You don't compile files beforehand. They are kind of done as you go, right? So that's why in Python, it's way more common to run into runtime errors, simply. A lot of runtime errors are caught by compilers in C, in my limited experience. this should work. It's accessible, right? There's a through path here, I hope. Well, we'll see. Lower rib. There's no errors, you see, because Python sees calling a function and it searches for that function. Yeah, exactly. I don't know, it's just weird to me to have to do that in C, especially because there's a header file, you know? I know that there's a logical explanation. I am well aware of the phenomenon that programming languages are logical. That's the only thing they have going for them, right? So they have to be good at that. So I'm sure that there's a logical explanation. I just find it rather strange. I find it to be a quirk of C rather than a very understandable working method. I don't know how you would exactly call that. I know that Johannes, since you've read the entire manual, you probably know. The static helper function, they aren't in the header field. I think the one that I was trying to do was actually not static. It was public, wasn't it? Pray for those dwarves. What do you mean? What do you mean? They're gonna be fine. They're gonna be just fine. Look at them. It was public. Yeah. So static is not public, right? Static means that the function is limited to a file. So you can't have a static in a header, and that function that I was trying to do was also in a header, but it also, it wanted to call Crudelius to the side. Yeah, I wanted to call Crudelius to the side. Let's have it. So this is the one in question. Building count faults get, right? So it's, oh, okay, so there were two different ones. There was building count faults. Building count faults. But building count faults. Okay. So it did mess up. I'm gonna have to adjust that. I'll do it after the stream though. So I did. This should be a static that count faults. But you know, we'll test it now as well. That's what the point of the stream is, isn't it? Static can also mean that's a local variable. Remains its value between function calls. I learn something every day. Okay, guys, come on. Do you reckon that those wolves are gonna collapse before they get here? Is that what you were getting at? How should we do this? I am gonna need a reservoir here. But I think I can get away with doing it here and connecting it to water on this side. That would be my approach, because there's no good fishing spots here. This one is the furthest one that could be remotely useful, I reckon. This one should be too far to be of any use at all. So let's do it like that. Let's do an aqueduct here, and then the fountains should... yeah, they cover everything neatly. And extern means that it's defined in another file it's declared in. I haven't messed with external functions yet. I was suggested that as a solution for one of the problems that I was dealing with, in particular with an array that was supposed to be accessible all across the all across a few different files. But I ultimately decided against it because it was just overcomplicating something that should have just been actually declared in a few different places and not be global. But I'm even boring myself just thinking about it. So let's drop that before someone drops dead. From boredom, from boredom. Alarming a fleet. Yeah. Okay. So last time what I have decided on is getting the workshops too early is going to alert the Caesar way earlier than I wanted to. So in this case, I am going to skip on the workshops for a bit Let's do this. No permissions. Yes for fish. Slap a granary here. There we go. And some temples. I don't want to have the wrath of gods on my head too early. Give me a few minutes at least. So what I managed to do last time was hit culture a bit early and get some nice returns from that. So I am gonna try and do that as well, and bank on the culture a bit more than I usually would, because it seems like it's a good return on this map. Ponds. We did ponds last time, and my wife really liked them, so I'm gonna do ponds this time again. Lovely. This is gonna be a labor issue. For example, Johan says that, for example, the map data is declared as external in map data H, but defined in map /grid H. Yeah, there's like the map stuff in code of Augustus is, I don't want to say getting on my nerves, but it's one of those things that keeps tripping me up because of the different ways that map is assessed in the engine, where the way that it's treated sometimes from map point, sometimes through grid offset, sometimes through directly coordinates by X and Y. It's just, you know, I have to have the code in front of me. I have to be looking at it to understand it. What I found the easiest is to just go by grid offset. Grid offset is it's one of those things that you can't see at a glance, because if I were to place a well right now and I went to go show tooltip 1, I'm gonna have the coordinates for my mouse visible at all times, and you can see that this is 159, 159, and the other northern corner is 0 and 0. So the grid offset is not directly a result of multiplying X by Y, but it's more or less that. However, it allows you to store a point on a map in a single number, and while it's not easy to see, I don't know what this grid offset is. I don't know what this grid offset is. I can look here and I can say, okay, this is X 143 and Y 40. I have no idea what the grid offset that is. But just being able to store it in one variable is just very useful when you try to code stuff for Augustus. So that's why I've been trying to use grid offset. It's just been my go-to when it comes to anything map related. There's a bunch of functions that help with that. For the culture, Turgon says, each year the check is done. You can't keep above 50, you won't get the favor. I know, but you know, just getting those few boosts in the few early years means a lot. You know, helps out. Every little helps. That's the campaign slogan of Tesco, I think. Every little helps. Okay, how are those wolves doing? Come on, guys, get to work. Okay, back to the topic. So the first things first, we are going to live off of clay and fish. And last time this was my go-to. So let's not do this, but let's relieve the magic. Let's do it like that. Shooby-dooby-dooba. There we go. I like my roads in a particular way. I don't know. I'm just weird about that. Just the donkey traders. Open this. Trade. I think this might be too much clay. Actually, I'm convinced that it's too much clay for now. Let's stick with 2. This should be enough. Yeah, so the exports are set up. This is accessible, and it is gathering Roman culture. There we go. Okay, so we hit 50 culture off the bat. Good. Let's do a cart depot. Moving the fish from 2 to 3. Disable that. Make it only accessible for the ladies. Ladies, not all at once. Come get your fish. What was the meme with the bloke who had a cool song about fish in one of those London markets? Was it, can't remember. There was like a jingle that was stuck in my head for a long time. There was an Indian bloke who was selling fish in the London market, and he was singing a song to advertise the fish. It was come on ladies, £1 fish. Love that. That was stuck in my head for ages. Don't look it up, you're gonna have an earworm. But it's fun. How is the audio right now? Looking at the OBS, I am significantly louder than I was before. But also the music in Augustus is significantly louder, so I'm gonna turn it down just a bit. I hope that this is fine. Let me know. But once I figure it out, so first of all, I'm gonna stay with this mic. The other mic is going right back to Amazon. I'm not keeping that rubbish in my house. So the other one is going back, and once I settle on a setting with this one, I'm just gonna save it in OBS, and you know, we'll have a consistent quality. Right. Let's make sure that no one's dying, because this is gonna happen very soon, I suppose. People are gonna just start dropping like flies. Okay. I think this one might be a little too far and a little too sad. I might have to add another like granary here-ish. But I'm gonna check how well they do in the monthly catch in a bit. It's not time yet. It's May. How are we doing on the quota? Nothing yet. Okay, now they're starting quiet. So we can't embezzle the weapons as we could in the Alpine one. We're gonna have to use those weapons to defend ourselves. That's you know, not ideal. I would prefer to embezzle the resources given. But we live, we laugh, we delay the natives through our work, right? That's how the saying went. Oh, sure, that seems okay. Is there a pathway here? No 7K pop music. God damn it. There it is. How dare you? The native rework is your life mission. Oh my god. There's so many things that need to be done before native rework. So many. Oh, we are overproducing fish now. I was worried that this was gonna happen. That was quick. Okay. Send it here. I don't know whether this is going to be a good idea to send it from here, but at the moment this is where we stand. So if I have to reroute it later, we're going to do that. But 2 to 3 now. Is this working now? Fish. Go. Go. Move the fish. Okay, so they are starting to roll in. So last time I did something like that. The arena here, provide them with limited pavilion. That's nice. I very rarely use pavilions. But now that you can copy them with a collar, you should be using them more often. This green one is very nice. It's really nice looking. Price rise. If I remember correctly, it's about bricks. No fish. Okay, so fish is more expensive. Great. I think I might have overmoved my fish. We'll see. It's May. Maybe we'll manage. Pavilions do burn. It's lavariums, not pavilions. Pavilions count as gardens. I think you're thinking of lavariums. This. Lavarium, yes, lavarium is susceptible to collapse and fire. Fact checked. On the spot, immediately. No false, no fake news on Zephyr Extreme. Get fact checked immediately. So, okay, these are flowing. Money-wise, as far as I remember, I wasn't turning profit last time that I tried this trick. I had to open a second route to turn profit, but we'll see. I think that the first year is a freebie, right? The first year is a freebie. So how is this one doing? It's 81. It was blocked for a significant amount of time. So I think its efficiency might be higher than 81. Yeah, look. It's coming back right in time. It goes to the granary. There's a tiniest bit of delay. Can I get a Diet Coke? Do you have any Diet Cokes? That'd be great. That would be wonderful if we had a Diet Coke. So I could add another granary here. And that would slightly increase the productivity of this wharf, and also make sure that the other one is doing okay. But maybe it's not necessary. I would like to slap a roadblock here because I am afraid that these are gonna burn. So I would do it like that. The pigeon being fed coke and sent down the coal mines like a cannery, that is something for the Peter. I run on Diet Coke and pistachios. This is, ask my wife, it's my main diet, my main source of nutrients. It's Diet Coke for the caffeine and sweetness, and pistachios for all the other minerals. Back again. Hi Johannes, welcome back. So doing okay-ish. Turning the Coke is questionable. Pistachios check out for pigeons, I guess, but the Coke is questionable. As long as you don't snort it, you're okay. Sounds healthy. Yeah, it is. For birds, absolutely. So there's a lot of housing available. We produce much more than we eat. That sounds good. Are we turning profit though? Barely. No, we lose in 21, but we did spend some on construction, so it does sound like we are balancing on the edge. You know what? This is what we need more than anything, because the native rework is only going to affect the maps that actually do have natives. What we do need is a trade ledger. This is what we do actually need, and this is something that I've already started working on. And if I am not interrupted, then I'm going to finish it. Almost as healthy as drinking schnapps every day. I haven't had schnapps in a very, very long time. I don't drink alcohol. I got that going for me, which is nice. I'll enable a few more of these clay pits. So I wanted in the trade window in the first place. Yeah. There's a lot to be done. There's a lot to be done for the trade. So let's, this is not only Augustus stream, this is also a developer stream. So, you're going to have to... I found the pop filter. There it is. Dropped it on the floor. Pop. Does that remove the pop? I really hope so. Okay. Anyway, I think that there are a few places that and a few things that we need to do. There's also a lot to be done for the natives, 75, and the military. We don't talk of the military, but also Marek has some wonderful proposals. I had. So for those who are not aware, I've had a lot of plans for the military, and I drafted some outlines, and there was a lot of talk. Some of the proposals were controversial, some that were less controversial, some were very controversial, but when taken with an asterisk, are acceptable. What we landed on is that there's way more non-controversial work to be done. So, you know, I decided to go on that, but we did have a lot of discussions on what's possible for the military. Without getting into arguments and creative differences again, what I can say is that some kind of siege mechanism is coming. How exactly will it work? That's up in the air, but we're gonna have some sort of siege mechanic in Augustus at some point. This is why the catapult assets are already in. Someone asked about it on Discord the other day. Didn't Credelius have a dream of invading other cities? It's not only Credelius's dream. There are technical difficulties with that, but it's not impossible. So yeah, but we're not going to talk about the military, we're going to talk about a trade advisor. So here's what I think is necessary. First of all, we need to obviously have the data about last year's quotas. That's like, not having that is brainless. You know, we just need to have last year's quota. Secondly, we need to have a way to see which cities have contributed to your finances and which have lost you money. So we need a financial summary for cities, and we need financial summary for resources, because this is going to not only help people plan as they are playing, but it's also going to help educate people, which is something that a lot of map makers are highlighting. And by a lot of map makers, I mean one person who's just right about this stuff, who says that, you know, we need to educate people because people fall into pitfalls of trying to trade very inefficient resources, or, you know, trying to set up industries that are just not efficient or not worth it. So I think that those are the main things that we need. So last year's quotas, brainless, and also a summary by city and summary by resource. And I think some of those things, and also we need a shortcut to prices here. That's also silly. That the Empire view needs to have what's it called? A show prices. I need to know how much is this at the moment, because I am too lazy to go this, and by the time I got here, I forgot what am I even trading. So, you know, we need to have that at hand. Look top left of the Empire view. Top left. unrv.com. I am not going there. On the bottom left, show prices. Oh, okay. So this changes the meaning. Okay. I thought that I never hovered that. So this is for the financial advisor, I thought. Because in the other place we get show prices. Inconsistent. But my bad. I didn't know that it's here. I don't think it's labeled. Okay, I'm not gonna get into that. My bad. I am not. I make mistakes a lot. Cool. Okay, that's useful to know. It should be labeled differently, but that's fine. It's okay. Thank you, darling. Thank you so much. My wife is amazing. Shout out to my wife. She's the love of my life. back at it again. Okay. Mark even mentioned in a video like a year ago. My time is limited. I try to tune in. I watch stuff on speed, but I can't code and view streams and play and work and not abandon my family. I'm trying my best. I know that people have time, and I know people watch a lot of materials. I watch stuff like that usually when I'm traveling, when I'm like on a train, on a plane, or commuting. But I have not lately, especially lately, I've been watching way less YouTube videos. And it's not like a conscious, just like, oh, I'm mature, I'm an adult, I'm doing things that are better for my health or my plan or whatever. No, it's just like literally have no time. I do really like to have a second screen, and I you know, my ADHD is really pushing me to, and that is not a joke. Like I'm diagnosed. I have ADHD. I have my prescriptions and stuff. So I do really like to have a second screen. That's my way of consuming media a lot of the time. I've been watching a lot of stuff just like on a second screen. I've been going for a lot of TV series on Netflix. This way, it's my preferred way. But especially when I'm programming, I don't really have the kind of mental capacity to focus on what's happening on the second screen and also on programming. So I've mostly just been listening to repetitive music. Like, you know, I had lo-fi beats. I have lo-fi beats more most of the time when I'm working, when I'm either programming for work or when I'm doing it for a hobby. I do listen to a lot of mixes as well. I'm not generally I'm not that big of techno music, but I do listen to some actual techno by techno DJs when I'm working. A lot of drum and bass. It just like gets me in the mood as well. But in the evenings, I just like to listen to some Lyra, some you know, Caesar soundtrack. Titan Quest soundtrack is really good as well. HBO's Rome, stuff like that. I've been rambling about music. Let me look at the chat. Well, the family has to go. Nah, no mate, absolutely not. There are priorities. If Credelius can abandon us for his children, you know, I also get a pass. Where are we selling it? Number 5. Number 5 is where we sell it. Okay. You only watch Marek? Never when programming, always close everything but Shell Editor and GitHub. But we are his children, right? Yes. I do agree with that. I think he forgets that he owes us like child support or something. That's it. He should be paying us child support. I don't know in what way. Look at the boat go. So these from there, and go around. You'll make it. It's fine. It's okay. You'll have to handle it. So how are we doing? We are actually. I'm pretty sure we're making. There we go. We're making money. Cordelius is allowed to. Mameral deal. Here the child support. Mameral deal. Araldu is an absolute beast when it comes to making assets. Guy's a legend. He just like turns up with assets ready. Absolute beast. Absolute unit. Okay. I need working barracks and possibly an armory. If I do it like this, will this work? And my riddling is wearing off. I have trouble thinking again. It's clouding my vision. Since when has Saruman the Wise abandoned reason for madness? I think like this. Engineer here, prefecture here, and connected to barracks here, but not connecting it to the rest of the city. This and the supply post. I think supply post will have to go here. We'll change it if needed. I think these ones should be relatively effective. So this, enable it like that. Okay. I need an hour to set 16 pixels, which look acceptable. Oh. I need, at one point, I was trying to redo this little nugget, right? This black, rounded rectangle. And since I'm terrible with graphic design, I spent like an hour and it looked horrendous. And then I asked a very good friend of mine, who's also my cousin, to do that asset for me. And within like 15 minutes, he turned up with a very neat, clean looking thingy, which then I later posted on the Discord if somebody wants to use it. I'm hopeless with this stuff. I just accepted it. At some point, when I was a teenager, I really thought that I am going to be a jack of all trades, and I am going to learn how to do graphic design. So I learned the very basics of GIMP, and I still use GIMP to this day. I think it's a good free alternative to Photoshop. But I'm not good at it. I use it as out of necessity, not out of any other reasons. Being good at God at everything isn't human. Yeah, of course. This is what my therapist tells me. It's fine. It's great. We have people who are each great in their field around. Absolutely. I genuinely think that that's the case. I see nobody used it. I'm your therapist. These streams are kind of my therapy. So we're doing okay. I am surprised. You have no soldiers to feed. Okay, let's change that. Let's change it. So last time I did it like that, and I think I'm gonna stick to this again. If it works, what's the do you know the joke about a Linux programmer? A Linux programmer is locked in a room. Is in a room with a wheel, and the objective is to not reinvent it. The room isn't even locked; they can leave anytime they want. And you know what? They never leave. Linux programmers. Here. I think I'm gonna need more space here. But that's okay, they will be able to shoot through there. So this is a fort for legionnaires, and I'm gonna need one immediately for javelins as well. If I do it like that, that should be okay. And then I'm gonna put another one in there. Is the native rework in the room with us? Seth? Who's Seth? 75. 76. Sorry, I lost count. You know what we'll do? I'll add a counter to the stream. I'll figure out a script to get a number in a corner, and every time somebody mentions a native rework, I'm gonna add angry eyebrows on the pigeon, and I'm gonna bump the number up. You can use a bot. They could definitely, but that would require me learning how to use a bot. I think a script will be quicker. Natives with a command like native. I don't know, like, I don't watch Twitch. I've tried to, and I do tune in for Marek stream sometimes when I can. but it's just not really my kind of entertainment because you need to be tuned in all the time. I need to pause stuff all the time. When I'm listening, I like listening to podcasts, but I need to be able to pause and unpause. So I do watch VODs more often than I watch live streams. It's, it's personal preference, that's all. What happened to Toga Boy? What's a Toga Boy? I feel like a curious child with you guys sometimes. You mention stuff and I'm like, what's that? What does that mean? What's natives? What's a rework? What's a native rework? How are you doing, guys? What is the debug menu? What's an event? How do you do? Ooh! That's how I feel like a lot of the time. There's a command in my stream due to not being an affiliate. Oh, so it's been defunded, don't run any bots anymore, and limited channel options. It was in command Marek stream due to not being affiliated anymore. I'm trying to read two different people's messages at the same time, and it's coming off as if it's one. Venus is very unhappy. Did I skip Venus? It seems like I did. Okay. Come back here. I think this happened also yesterday. I think it was the exact same situation where I forgot Venus. Oh, how what's the saying? The history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes. But it often rhymes. Something like that. Okay, so the boys are gathering. The boys are back in town. It's May. I still have a lot of unemployment, so I think it is the time to set up the sand industry. We are going to be selling sand to Regium, and when the time's right, if we make reasonable amount of money, we are going to 5 should be enough. 5 should be enough. Yeah, good coverage as well. If we make enough money, we're gonna start doing bricks. What I have learned last time is that setting up sand here is no bueno. So set up sand here. This won't work. This could do it like that. Could do it like that. 5 times 14.4 is 72 per year. What's the calculation? Oh, that's the sand efficiency, 72. No math allowed. We eyeball things here. 72, that's twice as much as I need, so, okay, you win. Okay, smartass? How does it feel? How does it feel to be better? To be smarter? I do need to learn this stuff, but I just like eyeballing stuff. It just feels good to be like, this sounds just about right. And I know that in order to beat difficult maps and in order to face these challenges, you do have to calculate things. I am aware of that, but I don't love it. It's not my favorite part of Caesar. I don't know if I've mentioned that 1 billion times or 1 million times, but I do programming and data analysis for work. It's my actual job that I get paid to do. So I face very irritating calculations every single day, all the time. And it's when I get to Caesar, I want to turn my brain off a little bit, at least that part that is responsible for calculations, because programming I do actually enjoy most of the time. But calculating stuff, oh no. I do Excel for work, and it's enough. I've had my fair share of doing hobby Excel. My previous fixation was an MMORPG that really required a lot of min-maxing and efficiencies on every single point really mattered. So I made a lot of spreadsheets for my community. A lot of very precise calculations, especially for probability. I had to learn a lot of relearn a lot of probability maths, and it didn't pay off. That hobby left me stressed and annoyed at the community. It left me feeling that what I did didn't matter, and I made no impact despite spending a lot of hours working on things with the best intents and trying to share it and trying to make a difference. It didn't work out. So it's a kind of a sad reminder for me that good intentions are not everything. That you have to also estimate whether there's a need for the type of work you do. And so I did get kind of burnt out with doing calculations there. I have loads of spreadsheets, loads of Python scripts, loads of micro programs and tools that I tried to share with the community, and it just didn't pay off. So I'm trying to approach Caesar in a slightly different way. I don't know. It might just be a very personal observation. Sorry. I know I got on a massive rant and I stopped reading chat for like 3 minutes. But you know, this, as Marek said, he's my therapist. This is my therapy, so you know I have to rant a bit every now and then. Sorry. Let me catch up. Sun feels great. You often don't need absolutely produce the exact amount unless it's a hardcore map. Yes, so that's what I mentioned. Personally, I very often forget brick output and just go with what it feels like. But around 1 to per target. What I did memorize is that there's most of the time there's 2 workshops per raw resource production plant. That's the thing that I know, woken up in the middle of the night. But that's the only one. Personally, if you judge it badly and spitball it like 50% or less on target, that could be very bad. Yes, that's true. It can really bite you in the butt. So I do appreciate the advice on this one. However, even though we precisely calculated it, I still didn't have enough money to open the trade route. Didn't pay off just yet. I'm gonna have to wait until we've got enough money. It depends on if you don't need to min-max all the time. I wanted to add a calculator to the cheat console, but the window doesn't support plus, minus, and all the other signs. Brick 238. The cheat console doesn't have boundary checks, and very recently we had an instance where just not adding a parameter would make the game just fully crash in the console. So be careful with the console cheat window because it's tricky, especially because it reads strings. Okay, I am gonna have to give some more money and pray, unfortunately. As it does seem like it stopped being very efficient. It does seem like we're losing money. So what do I do? It's the same problem that I faced last time. It feels like I can't make money here. I would have to, I suppose, cut down on expenses. There was an event that could be triggered in order to gain access to another trade route. I can't remember what the event was, but I guess we'll find out sooner or later. Is there anything else that we can do here? I don't think so. 2 sand, 3 clay, 8 brick. Oh, cool. The fleet, yeah. So, but for the fleet, you have to have 30 wharves. So that's pretty. It's a pretty steep goal. When I was doing that yesterday, it did require me to settle a lot of land that I don't think that I can financially support right now. In order for this to work, I think I have to buy workshops. Workshops. Woke shops. It's the shops where you buy woke stuff, where you get woke. Yeah, let's do it. Do it or not do it? To do or not to do? Okay, so how are we doing financially right now? Not phenomenal. Okay, let's starve the peasants. How much of a difference? This is 100. This is not worth it. Wasn't the fleet 60 ships? Let's see. When are we going to fix this? Who's gonna fix this? Johan, do you want a challenge? Fix this. I love the weather. I'm not gonna... If you see me playing without weather, it's because I forgot about it. I think Awatibala did an amazing job with that, but this needs to be fixed. Okay, honey. It feels good to finally be on the giving, not receiving end, you know? It's better to be a catcher than a pusher. No, it's the other way around. Forget about it. Custom messages, arming a fleet. This one. 30 wharves, 3 shipyards, and 2 forts. New commercial partners, but if you haven't enough gain favor. Too difficult, too difficult. The upkeep on those wharves, I think, would ruin me. But I'm pretty sure we made money last year. Yeah, significant amount even. I forgot to check the quotas, but I think we're doing okay. Should it rain or should it pause while pausing? Also try pressing the scroll bar in the notifications. That's what I was, yeah, that's what I was saying. This is what moves. So the issue is that when you open a window, any window at all, there is actually, the frames are progressing. And it's more visible for weather effects, but it works for everything. So look at the clay pit here. Look at this clay pit, okay? And look at what I'm doing. I'm just clicking on this button. And the clay pit is going to advance its animation. Come on, it did it earlier. Does it not work? Or maybe it doesn't work when I zoom in. Okay, that's strange. It worked, it advanced once. It decreases 1 frame, yeah. Yeah, so that's what I know what happens, but I can't get into fixing that because you will not see me again. I'll go on a bender, and we don't want that, do we? I need to be sober. So I think with the sand is working nicely. It seems like I have more or less stabilized in terms of at least the economy. So I could just spam wharves here, which are going to be horribly inefficient, but I don't want to do that. What I found out worked pretty well last time is accessing this island and this island. So that's what we're gonna go for this time as well. There's a lot of unemployment, there's a lot of people who need work, so let's try and put those to work on fishing. Maybe we can delay workshops even further. And I don't know whether it's a good idea or not, but it's an interesting one, okay? So even if it's wrong, please don't tell me that it's wrong. I'm just gonna have fun. I'm having fun so far, so let's keep it up. Doesn't it have to increase the frame to update the UI? There are 2 different systems, Johan. The part of the engine that advances a frame when you change stuff in here is different one to the one that does the UI. And I don't know how to explain it better at the moment, but for example, for this UI, there's a separate check of activity. There's a separate check that checks if you have anything in these parameters has changed. The drawing engine is different. Oh, that's how I can put it. Yeah, I mean, don't have to. I'm just saying that this would be helpful to me, at least if you looked into that. But there's a different drawing mechanism for elements in the city, and there's a different drawing mechanism for the window. So you just have to look into the connection between the 2. Let's put wharves here. How did I access this island last time? Through here, okay. So I'm safe to put loads of wharves here. Ba-ba-dum, pa-da-da-dum, pa-da-da-dum. Okay. Enough. So these are already going to be inefficient regardless. But I can put the granary in the middle, I reckon. I am going to have to put 3 shipyards together, right? So I'm gonna have to find a place for the shipyards as well. But you know, one crisis at a time. Is this road design a bit better? Still not great, but it works. No permissions, only fish. It's a very annoying issue. There are worse issues, but this one is very visible. But tearing of the foreground and background is what keeps me up at night. And Crudelius already said that it's unfixable and I'm gonna have to live with it. So if Dadelios, and that's what we're gonna say now, we're gonna call him Dadelios now, which is Dad and Crudelius put together, if anyone's got any questions. So if Dadelios said that it's unfixable, then it's probably fixable, but it most likely is gonna take the amount of expertise and effort that nobody possesses. That's how it usually goes with those things, right? Because nothing is impossible in programming. Everything is possible. It's just a matter of how difficult, not even how difficult, how much work it will take, and how difficult it is to understand. This is doing good. This is doing great. Okay. Dadelios. But nobody has it but Dadelios. And Momerl. My eyes. Momrel. This is unpronounceable. We have to change that. Mamerdil. I think we said Mamerdil? No. No, because I don't know. We have to figure it out. It's a very important issue for the community. So these, they will stop. These are no longer going there. Okay, we are going 2 to 3 only. You as well. 2 to 3. There we go. We need shipyards, as I said earlier. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is easy as that. Unemployment looking strong. Still didn't get invaded. Still looking okay. Not great, not terrible. It does the job, eh? And these ones, we are going to be moving from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. I didn't plan for that. That's an organic one. Momreldir. Momentary Relative Directory. Good one. That's a very good one. It's like a sword from Lord of the Rings. Momreldir. Aragorn. Remember Momreldir. It works if you put it in like a butchered Irish-Scottish accent. Momreldir. I am looking worryingly at that Denari number. It's too close. It's too close to tell. But it's December. Oh, is the tribute gonna put me under? I've got some favour to spare. The tribute has put me under. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, guys. Buy the fish. Come on, traders. Come on, traders. Buy my fish. I have too many clay pits, I think. I think 3 is the exact number that we need. That, at least that's my eyeball estimate. Momentary relative directory. That was a good one. I like that one. How are we on wolves now? 18. So see, this barely moved towards the goal. It's a crawling pace. Not great. Build an altar to Neptune for more frequent Neptune blessings. That's a very good point. I should actually do a quick festival because I am not taking the advantage of cheap festivals just yet. And I should do. Build an altar. Why not? Yeah. So how are we doing on the efficiency of those commerce efficiency? Okay, so these are doing great. These are all fine. These are all over 100. I know that the ideal number is higher than that. I know that it's like 280 or something ridiculous. Altars don't make the other gods as jealous. I didn't know that. Never checked that either. These are doing fine. So all of the 170, that's good. This is not yet, it's not operational, not adjacent to the, this road, okay, like this. There we go. What collapsed? Oh, how? Where would you go ahead and do that? Okay, I don't need 4. I only need 3. But I could move it. Because I think this spot still could get some fishing done. It's okay, I don't need another one just yet. Lavarium 10 to all small temples 750. That's the coverage for population, right? Yes. These, somehow I know these numbers, but I don't know how they work with the jealousy. But yeah, small temple 750. I always forget whether it's 750 or 700. So good to know that it's 750. I know that for I know that for 1500 population, 2 temples each god is not enough. That's all I know. Still not discovered. Our premiums are still rather low, still barely making the ends meet, but you know, we are making the ends meet, so we need another cart pusher here. Should ideally daisy chain them, right? Yeah. Oh, I love the thunder. The thunder's beautiful here. Yeah, I'm gonna send one of those to go from 9 to 6 instead of 9 to 5. They don't account for worship cap, or at least they didn't until recently. Jealousy is just a temple or structure count, I believe. Huh. We need to rework it, like just like all the other things that we need to rework. Am I right? Or am I wrong? I mean, it's at a crawling pace, but we are making the money. Should be fixed, yes. Yes, God, rework. That's something that I would be more keen to work on than the other thing that we don't speak about. Added to the list of today. 77. Not a prime, but divisible but by 7 and 11, which is pretty cool. Still, 77 is a good number. We can stay at that one for a bit longer. Okay, we are making money. I am really tempted to slap another fort. I don't need another fort. I need more. I need more towers to defend this. But vibe. That is illegal, you know. Mom, Sophie hates the natives. Isn't Decent 6 working on something roughly like that? I don't think that the Eastern is actually working on it. I think he submitted something in a PR, but they was never adjusted for the other stuff that happened. I know that we had. I know that it advanced quite far to the point where Mamerlerdir made a new asset for a pantheon in the religion menu. So the work was kind of advanced, but it still had issues that were not resolved, and it kind of got stuck, I believe. But you know, Empire first, all the other stuff after. That's how I would like to approach it. Why is this guy here? Am I pushing somewhere to 9 instead of from 9? No, don't know. Okay, I still have unemployment. I do not know why. We need to delay those. Like this. Let's try that. It also has conflicts from 1.5 year. Yeah. Hint to check how many words you have. The trade advisor will tell you. I did. Yes. Hi Turgon. Welcome back. Yes, that's how I was checking that earlier. So I am unfortunately aware of that. But what I am thinking right now is I think it's time for the tree. I think it's time for the tree. And what we are going to do is we are going to add that. Yes. Ooh! That's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. We will stand and fight by your side, Governor. Our legion's rising and the influence of our city is heavier now. You're going 2 further per year as long as you keep filled your legions. I guess it's because I have 2 legions. Okay. Financially, we're still doing okay, so I'm gonna add 2 more legions of javelins because that's the meta. Further away, we're gonna get attacked soon, I assume. As soon as we crawl our way back to having money, I would like to add more towers to this defensive, and I'd like to set up the industry for bricks. It's November. We're only gonna sell a few more units of clay is what we're gonna sell, as well as a few more units of sand. Is that gonna put us back in? I know we found. Okay. I'm thinking the favor is gonna drop like a. You know what? Let's do that. I don't mind. And another one. Can I have some money, please? Money, please. Who was that? That was the one of the twins in Parks and Rec, right? Jean Ralphie's sister. Can't remember what her name was. She was going all the time to her father again. Money, please. She was also played by a very cool, intelligent, and talented American comedian whose name I do not know. Dipping in and out of that. Razor thin margins again is what we're dealing with. Okay. Changes in the empire. Okay, so that's what I was waiting for. When does that happen? What's the trigger for that? Because that's what I was waiting for. Fish and clay, that's perfect. And that means that I am going to need a granary here, actually. And these, at least partially, are gonna have to be directed to this granary. Fish. It's granary number 10. And temporarily, we're going to at least direct these to number 10. This is overflowing, but it's okay. There's not much that I can do about that at the moment. I'm just gonna have to. I could redirect it back with another card depot, but that's silly. Okay, it's gonna have to do. As soon as I get some money in the bank, I would like to open that trade route and start selling the fish and clay there. I don't know whether it's worth going into debt over it just yet. We'll wait and see. Chill, guys. We only have 53 years. I'm sure we will be fine. I'm sure we won't run out of time towards the very end. Convinced that this works. Okay, November. We're down. Why? Okay. I forgot. Neptune, you need to be with us, mate. I keep forgetting about the festivals. They are such an insignificant part in most of the campaigns where the overall strategy is more important. But with those difficult ones, I need to pay attention to everything, not just the few things that I find interesting. That's why I don't do festivals. Just make an extra temple. But that's gonna lead to jealousy. Festivals don't lead to jealousy. The festival micro is awful. Okay, that's the one thing that I disagree. I think that's it's similar as with the Caesar's gifts. I understand why it could be perceived as awful as micro and annoying, but this one feels like a kind of the legacy of original Caesar 3 mindset and micro gameplay that I am fine with. If you wanted to remove it and replace it with something else, I'm also fine with that, but it doesn't offend me as much as all the other stuff does, so I'm fine with keeping it. I think it's got a little bit of a charm to it that, you know, you have to remember to keep gods and Caesar happy. You can't just set things up and wait for stuff to happen. You have to remember to go and have a festival every now and then. You have to remember to go and send a gift to Caesar every now and then. If you have an extra cap, the jealousness won't matter, says Marek. It's optional, but the festivals have little impact. That's true. Maybe we should increase the impact of festivals then. I don't know. I feel like, well, I don't want to say that we need to change stuff because I already have my hands full, right? There's a lot of stuff too. But yeah, I think that the small overhaul of religion is something that we should address sooner than later. Not as much impact as placing an unbuilt GT. Oh yes, I saw that you submitted a PR for that already. I need to look into that carefully because I think it's very good and very important. I want to make sure that it goes in without any issues. Unbuilt temples should not fucking count. That's offensive, okay? It's a travesty. And it's very difficult to balance in terms of jealousy, because you start building a temple and all of the gods get really upset, but it's not even finished. It can be halted and it's still counting. Terrible travesty. So again, very good change. Marek requested it. Oh, so joint work. Good job, lads. Could add to the dynamic religion proposal, to brainstorm some festival ideas. Yeah. I'll tell you what. These streams make me wanna go back to work on Augustus. So, you know, we can't have it both ways. Back to the mines, yeah. I'll do some stuff. I'll do some things. I have been a bit tired in the last few days in particular. But you know, it's more personal and work balance than it is Augustus. I also burned myself a little bit by how I approached the Empire editor. It's a bit of my own fault. Do it. It's a bit of my own fault, because I had a look at the Empire editor and I thought, that's super quick. I can do it really quickly and impress everyone in how quickly I'll finish it. But then when I started looking into it and I started seeing how I want things to work, with, for example, drawing shapes and stuff, I thought I could do it quickly, or I could do it in a way that I would be satisfied. And I opted for making it the way that I would be satisfied, and that's why it took so long. Fault vibe code. It wasn't. It wasn't vibe code. A lot of the functions have been I guess you could say that a lot of the functions have been vibe coded, but I did draw out the entire algorithm and the main functionality. I did have it in my notes. So I noted down how I want things to work. I noted down how I want to store the variables and how I want the logical connections to work between the Empire objects and objects within the Qt. So it did take and non-insignificant amount of thought. It wasn't like I sat down and I said, "Chat GPT, write me a thing." If you asked me before, I would tell you that it takes long. So yeah, that's the thing. It wouldn't take long if I did it in a way that would be the quickest. But I wanted it in a cool way. Like, let me show you just one quick thing. It's not coding, don't worry. It's just the editor. We're not gonna go into coding. Marek, you're safe. But I'm gonna pause the game for a moment. I want to show you something in the editor. Which means that I have to open up my stuff, my notes. It's not here. It's sorry, bear with me just a moment, okay? I'm here. I'm just thinking. GitHub, Empire Editor. Fuck it. I'll run it off Spider, I think. No, I downloaded the version. Okay, I have it from the stream from yesterday. It's okay, we Gucci. Save folder for streaming, V1, there, okay. Also, you can't simply call an outer panel draw. I don't know what you mean by that. You can't, yes, you can't simply call an outer panel draw, but why does it matter for this? This is done in Qt. So for example, what I really wanted to have is this. I have to go to bed now, bye. Bye. I am also gonna finish the stream in a few minutes. It's fun, but I have some stuff that I need to take care of before the end of the day. And, but yeah, so this is what I really wanted to have, so that, for example, the line follows your cursor, and the cursor is still an Empire flag, and you can plot it like that. I could have made it very quickly and very easily that you didn't have that, or, you know, some visuals would have been different, but I really wanted to make it in a particular way, and that's what killed so many hours trying to make it work. You have no idea how much time I spent doing the plotting and making sure that the plotting is consistent with the Empire edges, and that you can move these vertices. I really thank you, Marek. I really hope that people will use it, and I'm waiting for your feedback as well. I really want people to start using it and start giving feedback. Johan already gave me some feedback on some bugs that need to be fixed. I already started doing that, but then I got bogged down with professional work. You woke up at 4 today. That's horrendous, mate. You know what? So that means that you woke up 4 a.m. in Czech time. That's the time that I went to bed. I went to bed at 3 a.m. yesterday. My last save from yesterday was called "I really should go to bed now. I should sleep." That's the save that I made at 3 a.m. last night, and I went to bed. So you woke up when I went to bed. This is, you know, that's the code mining shift. I go to bed when you wake up. That's horrid slip schedule. Well, I did wake up at 9, so it was 6 hours. 9 a.m. British time, 10 a.m. Czech time. It's not great, but you know, we live, we laugh, we learn. Okay, it's 5 to 10. What I'm gonna say is Hideout is difficult, but it's manageable, and I enjoyed this journey. I'm gonna save it, and instead of saving it as I should sleep, I'm gonna save it as I will sleep. Because this was a good day. We did stuff. We came to some conclusions. We had a good time. The stream was very interesting. Had some very nice conversations. And so everyone is going to bed. I should be going to bed as well. I fixed the bug, right? It's good. I won't push it tonight because or maybe I will. Okay, I'll have a look at it later. I might push it tonight. I might push it tomorrow. But yeah, I'm glad that we fixed it. That was a nasty one. Really, really sad. So yeah, I wanted to say thank you very much for everyone who tuned in. Thanks for the stream, Sefi. You are very welcome, and I am very grateful for these times. I really like that we have this space to have a chat, play some Augustus, talk about the development a bit, get a few different perspectives, fix some bugs, and just generally have a nice time. I really enjoyed it. The other mic is going to the bin, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Have a good one. I'll see you soon. Hopefully I'll have some good news for you relatively quickly. All right, bye bye. Thank you.